Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm back again. Of course, I say that a ton, but it's been, I believe, a few days, probably. Let me check. It's been about 5 days. This is quite the while for me. I feel like it's been only 3 days, but hey, time, life happens. So during that time, they gave the games. In-game mail gave us all, hopefully, a free 4-star Ironheart, and I had the resources and materials to take her up to rank 5. Couldn't send her, but max sick, and I wanted to play test with her because she seemed pretty cool. She seemed like she had some pretty neat utility, and I thought, hey, against Strife, my own Strife, this would probably look pretty neat. And her PI is pretty crazy. This Ascended, I'm not Ascended, but this rank 5. You know, I had quite the expectations from her, but as you can already see, 6 of the repulsor debuffs inflicts a tracking, so I automatically just counter Strife. He doesn't really have anything else I need to counter from Strife. And I push him to a special 3, which is probably not the best idea, but he lets me hit into him, and he's just dead here. Yeah, I mean, for smaller health pools like that, she will thrive, is one thing I've realized. If you're just doing like a smaller health pool, you want to find, it doesn't have to be a mutant necessarily, because if you can counter them, then you can just have a really fun vanilla fight, like this Deadpool right here. This is very vanilla, very basic, but one thing that happens is the repulsor debuffs have like, I don't know, 15 or 10 second duration on them. But actually, I accidentally went for a special 2 here. You want to just keep going for special 1s to pause the debuffs so that you don't run out. Because as you can see, they're already dropping off, and they drop off one at a time. But they're basically all like around the same amount of time. So if you lose one, you're about to lose another one in the next half a second. And then you're about to lose 3 more in the next 2 seconds, or the next 1 second. So, yeah, as you can see, they're already falling off. And right here, what I would have done differently, go for special 1s. But I thought his health pool was small enough that I could just do this. And the damage is not bad, but I'm not seeing many crits, and I'm not seeing like many numbers above. I'm not seeing any numbers above 3,000. I don't think, at least from there, it was like the max was like 2,700. And so now I actually have the smart idea for going for the special 1, which pauses my ruptures or my repulsor debuffs, whatever you want to call them, and also gives him a vulnerability. Forget what type, but just a vulnerability to, I think, the debuffs. And so right here he's just dead. Pretty neat fight, not the quickest. Not the least amount of hits, but it was like she may take a little bit of time in some fights and may not be as, you know, of course not as quick, but she does it very neatly if you play her right. She has that Bulwark passive awakened, and also one thing I forgot to mention, on her damage doesn't only come from the debuffs that the defender has. I think her special 2 damage scales with her armor ups, or maybe it's both. I could check real quick, but in some of the clips here, I don't have many armor ups when I'm going for the special 2. So you want to make sure you have as many armor ups as possible before, you know, your debuffs fall off or before anything expires. Just make sure you have as many as possible. And I don't know if I can really check right now, but yeah, her armors do scale with damage on her special 2, so just keep in mind of that. And here, this node, it looks like I'm doing a not bad amount of damage. There's a regen, of course, for Iron Man characters, but this is Power Shield, so it's gonna be pretty nice. That was 4,500 crit on the special 1, which, if it wasn't Power Shield, I think it would probably be like 700, 600, you know, it would be pretty way lower. And same thing right there, like literally same thing happened. The Bane trying to negate it, you know, she didn't counter Bane, but Easy power shield, easy. Just killed her off. Clean fight. And yeah, just a clean fight for nodes like that when she has nodes helping her out. Like power shield doesn't like really. It's not like a specific node that helps her specifically, but it helps every champion mostly. So it's gonna help her in some way, shape, or form. And this last quick fight, you know, actually not quick, but I wanted to test out something they did in the deep dive, which is getting her max repulsor debuffs and then trying to go for a special 2. So this is, you know, not a 7-star. This is a 4-star rank 5. And so you're not going to expect really crazy numbers out of her. But max debuffs, max potential, with synergies this whole video. And so I was expecting quite something. I was expecting a little bit of damage, you know, just enough to be recognizable. And this is a long ramp up fight because my debuffs are falling off, and I don't have that much time to build up my special ones. Even though the pause isn't too bad, the pause is nice. It's not like I would say if they added 5 more seconds on the pause, that would be perfect. As much time as possible is always great. If it was like a whole minute, that would be amazing. If it was like Iron Man, the reworked Iron Man, where he just gets constant pauses for parrying and stuff, that would be amazing. But that's not the case here, which is fine. You can try to manage around it. It's still a little bit stressful. And from the 7-star rank 3, I believe, Awakened in the deep dive, she's her special 2 with the max repulsor debuffs, 5 armor ups, got the vulnerability, was heading for 51,000 crit on the first few hits, some like 6,000 burst damage numbers, and then the last 3 hits or so did over 100k. So in total, she did, as a 7-star rank 3 Awakened, and with all that stuff, she was doing about let's say 480 or 450 to 500,000 damage max ramped on her special 2. And so I'd probably say 400,000. But here with this 4-star, we got off not bad. I'm not gonna say it's great, but I think it was about 35,000, just like roughly around there, which isn't bad for a 4-star, because you know that's gonna be pretty nice if you're earlier in the game. But also, it's kind of a one-time payoff thing. You're not gonna be able to throw it multiple times like White Tiger. Yeah, it's not gonna be like, it's gonna be more of a one-time special 2, then you have to build it back up for like another minute or half a minute, you know, and then you can throw it again. But that requires, this is better and more of a vanilla fight, which this is like a vanilla fight where there's no nodes that are like distracting me. It's just basic Winter Soldier, and my hit counter is stacking up and rising. And here I have the smart idea of actually building up my armor ups, or trying to, while managing my incinerates. And so, you know, I'm just trying to do what I can, and the pause is running out. I feel like I should go for I should go for a special 2 right here. I feel like it's good, and it does around the same, but actually I think that was more. That looked like more like 45,000, maybe even 50,000, probably like 45,000 though. So yeah, she's great to use. You know, she has some great utility actually. I would be happy if I got my hands on her as a 4-star though. She's not too bad. She is not only damage, she has the great utility, of course, and she's a great addition. I feel like she's just gonna take some time to get used to. And yeah, she was fun to play with, and hopefully she becomes a big role in the future, and I will see you guys all soon.